Hey, Brian. I did a name tag for you.
Oh, good.
Will you take Margaret Hurst too, please?
Yes, I will.
It's two N's, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's the, I've never seen that spelling of Susan before.
I know. I came up.
Oh, just your own?
Changed my name. It
Okay.
used to be like regular Susan.
Oh, okay. Name tag for you here when you're ready, Brian. Name tag on the table there for you when you're ready. And then your card over here. Yeah, exactly. I got Margaret, I got Susan, I got Jane, I got you. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Click, 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 click. So many clicks. Mr. Gary Taylor.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Yeah, we can do that. Thank you, sir. Click, click. There we are. 6 clicks. 6 students, 12 clicks. No, we're still missing one. Oh, there we are. Janice. Hey, Janice.
Hi.
How are you this morning? Uh-oh. Well, fortunately, the fix for that is easy.
Do they have air across the building?
I don't know, actually. Good. I know they do it co-op. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's quite low and my light is on.
Okay.
One fire seems to be on. It's quite low, actually.
I need your card, please. Card? Punch card?
Oh, yes. I was actually paying.
Thank you very much. I'll just put it right here. You can pick it up when you're done. Or anytime you like. I'll flip this around for purposes of this class. I got it, Jeff. I got it, Susan. Yeah. 6. Even number. The best number. You and Brian can warm up right here. Okay, folks, we're going to start with our structured warm-up. I think most of you know our structure. Will you come over here and be my partner for a second, Gary? I think most of you know our structured warm-up. Can I borrow your paddle, my friend? I set mine down somewhere and I can't see it. All right, so we're going to start in the V. So blue line. Oops, sorry, that was not in the V, was it? That was not in the V, was it? All right, blue line to blue line. I want to be in the V. Nice. Boom, boom. And just 10 back and forth. So they don't have to be successful. I just want 10 attempts. All right, so 10 in the V. We'll start that way. And I'll find my racket. There. Where's my racket? All right, then we're going to do 10 down one side. So pick a side. Both going to go down the same side. All right, that should be about 10. So now we're going to do 10 down the other side. Oh, there it is. All right, now we're going to do 10 diagonal. So diagonal, most of you are right-handed. Everybody here is right-handed, so it'll be 4. Oh, no, Brian's left-handed. So diagonally. All right, now we're going to go 10 on the other diagonal. And remember, you're hitting just outside your partner's foot, just outside their foot. Awesome. That should be about 10. Okay, now comes the dreaded figure 8. So that side is going to be hitting straight. This side is going to be hitting back diagonally. So it's going to be straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal. It's going to form a figure 8. All right, so 10 attempts. Okay, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Now we're going to switch it around. This side is going to be straight. That side is going to be diagonal. Okay, it should be about 10. All right, now we're going to do our long diagonals. So you two are just going to split up onto 2 diagonal courts. You two, Janice and Jane, are going to rotate. So switch positions. And then you're going to do the long diagonal. So come right into the kitchen, right into the kitchen. You're doing your long diagonal inside the kitchen. So. There you go. Good. Okay, that's probably 10 attempts. So now you two are going to rotate. You two are going to rotate. You guys are going to switch. There we go. And we're going to do 10 diagonals in the kitchen. All right, that should be about 10. And this is so important, we're going to do it again. We're going to rotate around Margaret. Margaret's going to be our anchor. Everybody's going to rotate around Margaret. So Brian, you're going to go to the far end. Nope, Janice, you're just going to come here. Brian's going to go to the far end. Susan's going to come in here. Right on. And we're going to do it again. Okay, so we're going to start in the V. 10 in the V. 10 attempts in the V. Was that in the V? You guys were going diagonal. In the V. In the V. Just like we're starting over. Right? We're starting at the beginning. We'll just pretend that was in the V. Okay, now we're going to do one side. Pick a side. We're going to do one side. Yeah. We're doing the whole thing over again. We're doing the whole thing over again. We're starting at the very beginning. So now you guys are going to pick a side and go down a side. Okay. Exactly. Oh, slow down. Slow down. So you're hitting to the blue line, Margaret. There we go. Nice. Okay, that's 10. Good job. Okay, now pick the other side. Other side, 10. Okay, I'm going to pause everybody. Okay, so as part of our training groups, we're learning how to feed. If you want to advance to the next training group, you need to be a better feeder than you are now. That's the primary thing I'm looking at, is how well you feed. Because if you're a good feeder, higher level players want to train with you, right? So I'm really paying attention to how you're feeding as I'm assessing how you're doing today. So in feeding, if Jane and I are feeding, I'm going to use Jane as an example, and we're feeding blue line to blue line. So we're just going to dink back and forth. I'm watching how many of Jane's shots land before the blue line and how many of her shots last past the blue line, right? Before is good because I can move forward to get those, but if she hits them too deep, hits them deep. Now I have to back up, right? So if I hit them too deep to her, right, watch how she has to back up. So if I hit beyond the blue line, she has to back up. That's a bad feed. So if you're going to miss your feeds, you want to miss short of the blue line so that the person has an opportunity to move forward to hit their shot. If you're constantly pushing your partner back, that's not good feeding. That's what we want to avoid. Okay, so that's what we're working on today. If you're going to miss your shot, miss it short, not long. Does that make sense? Okay, and don't hit to where your partner is. Always just hit back to the line. They will adjust back to the line. Does that make sense? Okay, have we done both sides? Or are we doing the other side now? Okay, we've done both sides? Okay, now we're going to do the diagonal. So pick a diagonal to start on. Remember, you're aiming for the blue line. Try not to go past it. Okay. Now we're going to do the other diagonal. So whatever diagonal you just did, do the other. We're not doing figure eight. We're doing diagonal. Just diagonal. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to do the dreaded figure eight. This is a tough one. Do your best. Remember that when the ball's coming at you at an angle, you don't want to let it get behind you, right? That's why it's really important for the feeders to keep the feeds blue line and no deeper, especially on this one. Because if you're hitting past the blue line, the person now has to move twice as far to get back because they're trying to return a diagonal on the straight, right? So be good with your feeds on this one. It'll make the drill easier. So that side's straight. This side is diagonal. Okay. All right, so now we're going to switch. This side's going to be straights. That side's going to be diagonals. There you go. You win practice. There we go. Good, that's about 10. Okay, so we're going to do our long diagonals now. So you two are going to go long. You two will rotate. Okay, remember we're doing our long diagonals inside the kitchen. Again, you don't want to be overshooting the blue line and you don't want to be overshooting the sideline. So just keep it in the kitchen, long diagonals. Okay, good stuff. Okay, now you two switch, you two switch, you two switch, and we'll do our long diagonal the other way. This is our last one. Good stuff. Okay, that's the dinking warm up that we do, our structured dinking warm up. Now we're going to move on to our 3 volley elements that are part of our warm up. I'll just demonstrate with Janice here. I'm going to use Susan as my illustration first. So come on in so you can see this. Come over here, Susan. You're going to be my mannequin for now. You're going to be my mannequin, okay? So just stand facing everybody here. Okay, so Susan's right-handed. This is her backhand. Everything over here is her green zone. Everything over here is her yellow zone. Everything she takes on this side of her body with her forehand is her yellow zone. And her red zone is her right hip and her right shoulder. Right? So when I'm doing this drill with Janice now, we're going to go to our green zones. So this is my green zone. Everything I can take with my backhand. Right? This is my yellow zone. You want to try not to hit me any of these. And you definitely don't want to hit me anything to my right shoulder or my right hip, if you can. Right? So that means that I'm going to be going for your green zone. You're going to be going for my green zone. We're going to be going backhand to backhand, volleying just across the net. I'm sorry, you probably weren't ready for that. Come in a little closer. You're too far back. You're too far back. Come in closer. Come in closer. You're way too far back. Okay, here we go. And some of them are hitting the ground. That's okay. We're okay with that. All right, see what we're doing? We're just going green zone to green zone. We're doing the best we can. Some of the balls are hitting the ground. That's awesome. I'd rather some balls hit the ground than for her to hit them so hard that I have to back up. Okay? The other thing is, I want you to try to keep all of your volleys in this window. So imagine that this window extends across all of these nets. Right? We want to try and keep our volleys down. Let's try that again. Keep our volleys down. Janice, you ready? Oops, it was too high. My bad. So we lost control. So I just stopped the ball and we try again. It's okay. We lost control. We start again. All right. So exactly, it is. But that's what we're working on. Okay? And we're actually going to start a little bit closer. We're going to start with our heels on the blue line. That way we're a little closer. It's a little friendlier. We don't want to hit these balls very hard, very fast. Just hard enough for me to get to Janice's green zone. Okay? So let's try that. Yeah, so you still have a green zone though. Anything. Yeah, still green to green. Yeah. Yep. One second. Because he's left-handed, yeah, so his green zone's a little bit different. So you're going to want to pull your left foot back just a touch. There you go. And you're going to want to have the same kind of angle, right? Because you're going to want, there we go, just like that. Yeah, if you pull this right foot back a little bit, there you go. That'll open your shoulders up a little bit, and it'll make it a little easier for you guys to control. His backhand, his green zone is right here. Exactly. Yeah. Jane, heels on the blue line. Be in much closer. Yeah, let it go. Just grab a new one. I'm going to get the two of you. You're doing great. I'm going to get the two of you to slide down to that court. Jane and Margaret, I'm going to get you to slide onto this court right here. There we go. We're going to spread people out a little bit. All right, keep going. You guys can stay where you are. All right, that's awesome. Everybody come on in for a minute, please. Okay, so I wanted to see how everybody was volleying and what your individual issues were. I've got a really good sense of where we're at now. So you can see that today is going to be very physically demanding. Volley day is always hard work. Okay, you can see how much energy it requires to maintain volleys. We're going to have a drink of water now. We're going to have a little chat in the lobby, then we're going to come back for the teaching segment of this group.
Little chat is ominous.
Always have a little chat. While we're drinking, we'll have a little chat out in the lobby. That?
I feel like I'm getting better.
You are getting better at that. Yeah. All right, so you guys hear me talk over and over and over again about the moment of contact with the ball. That moment of contact, you must be in control of that moment. You can see how it's helping you with your dinking by slowing down your stroke and being in control of that moment. If you're slashing, slapping, poking, stabbing at the ball, you're never going to be in control of that moment, right? Whatever happens before that moment or after that moment, in that moment, you have to be in control of your swing speed. You have to be in control of the direction that your paddle is facing, right? You have to be in control of your swing path. Those three things: path, angle, speed, path, angle, speed. We want to avoid slashing, stabbing, poking, that kind of thing. It needs to be smooth, purposeful, guided contact. And that's, you see how that helps you on your dinking, that's going to help you on your volleying as well. So a couple of things you can do. Some people get really excited in their brain when they're volleying, so that they get excited. One of the things you can do is just calm your brain down, tell your brain to slow down, right? Pause the ball when it starts to get out of control, tell yourself to slow down. The other thing that helps some people is to imagine you're in the Matrix or some other movie where you're moving in slow motion. I want you to think about volleying in slow motion, okay? If you're reaching out and stabbing and trying to do everything fast when you're volleying, you're never going to have control. You've got to slow down. Keep your paddle out front, short strokes. If you're starting way back here and making contact way out here, your stroke is that long. Ball's going to go a long way. Your stroke should be no more than a few inches, typically. You know, six inches kind of top. You want to keep the paddle out in front of you where you can see it. If you're bringing the paddle back here, all of your strokes are going to be way too long, so you're going to have trouble controlling the volley. So you want to keep the paddle out in front of you. Try and move in slow motion. Try and keep yourself from getting too excited. And you want to stay on your toes. If you get on your heels, you're not going to be able to move. So we're going to be doing volleying. If you get tired and you need a break, because this is really physically demanding, I want you to say, Coach, we need a break. And I'll slow down for a few minutes, because this can be very demanding. Any questions about what we're going to do?
So how do you keep it down without getting it?
Your paddle face. Remember I said you have to be in control of that moment?
It's not like that. It's more like
Yeah, if you're doing that, if you're under the ball and you're hitting it up towards the ceiling, it's going to go high. But if you keep your paddle face closed, right, this is what we call open. This is what we call closed. Right, anything from here down. Yeah, so slightly open, just slightly open, right? Another thing too is if you're making contact up here, it's going to be high, right? So if you keep the ball low, right, try and keep the ball below like around your belly button, it's going to be easier for you to control. So we'll work on it. We'll get better. We're going to be doing lots of rotations. That was a good question, though. Other questions? Let's go give it a shot. Put our water bottles down and try some more. Go back to the partner you had, then we're going to rotate in a minute or two. All right, Jane, you and I are going to try something. Come on into the blue line, Jane. I want you to move really slowly. Really slowly. Oh, but you got to hit the ball to me. Slowly. Oops. That was fast. Slow. See how much more control you have? Slow. Okay, here you go, Margaret. All right, let's give it a shot, folks. So here. Give me 1 second. Put this over here. See this window, guys? I want you to try and keep it through this window. Okay, let's rotate. Everybody's going to rotate around Margaret. Margaret's going to stay where she is. You're going to head over there. Brian, Susan, you're going to come down here. All right, nice and slow. Heels on the blue line. Heels on the blue line. There we go. Yeah, still in the green zone. Heels on the blue line, Brian. Brian, heels on the blue line. Heels on the blue line. Heels on the blue line. Yep. Pause for 1 second. All right, so the way you're holding your paddle right now, right? It's flat here, but watch what happens as I reach away from my body. Where's the paddle face facing? Yeah. So we need to change your paddle so that it's here. So experiment with your grip and keep doing this until it's, because when you're holding it like this, the further you reach out, the higher it goes up, right? So roll your paddle over, think of it like a motorcycle, right? Yep. Yep. Oops, I'm sorry. Sorry, Margaret. It's all right. Keep it going nice and smooth, guys. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Gary? Not bad. Let me give you a tip on your grip. So right now, the way you're holding your paddle, watch what happens as I push my arm away from my body. See how the paddle face opens up? So the further you take it out front, the higher it's going to go. So adjust your grip a little bit and then test it, right, to make sure that it can stay at the same level. Right? Is that working a little better, Jane? Good. Much lower. That's awesome. Slow down. Don't get too excited. Slow down. Okay, let's rotate one position around Margaret. One position. So don't feel that you have to stay here. If you need to step forward to take one, you can, because you're reaching a lot.
Yeah.
Right? If you need to step forward, you can. The blue lines, we're just learning to volley. The blue line's a starting point. Right? Right in your heels, Janice. Janice, right in your heels. Right in your heels. I got it. Oops, come on. Slow it down. If it gets going too fast, catch it, stop it, slow it down, and reset. Okay, come in a little closer. A little closer. There we go. Uh-oh. Sorry, Janice. Can I step in for 1 second? Can I try your paddle?
Sure.
I think a lot of your trouble might stem from this, so I want to try it for myself. Okay, you ready? Oh. Let's, I'm going to give you a different paddle to try. It's very, very light, very, very thin, and very hard to control. So, I've been watching you struggle with that paddle for 2 months, and
Oh, okay.
I'm coming to my limit. I want to try and help you. So let's try a different one. You feel the instant improvement? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, use that one. Very good. Keep it slow though. Slow. Okay, let's rotate around Margaret. You have pockets, Brian? You're too far back. Come in a little bit. Come in a little bit. Heels on the blue one. There we go. All right. So remember where her green zone is. Every time you hit a ball outside of her green zone into a red zone or a yellow zone, you guys are going to have trouble controlling the drill. All right, so remember where her green zone is and try to get all balls back to her green zone. And you do the same. Yeah, yeah, same as you. Much better, Susan. Doing great, Margaret. You're doing great.
You know I'll have problems when it comes here. I don't get down low enough to get it over the net somehow. Or
Yeah.
my rackets are on angle. I hit the net.
Yeah.
I just can't get it.
One second. So you're always pulling, no, you're not wrong. It's just, this is an improvement. You're pulling your paddle so far back that all of your strokes are really long,
Okay.
right? If you keep your paddle a little further out away from you, your strokes will be shorter and then you won't be hitting them as far.
Okay.
Okay? Very smooth, Susan, very smooth. I like that. Yeah, very good. All right, let's rotate one position around Margaret. Doing great, Brian. Oops. Doing great. Just calm, relax. There's a lot of tension in your grip, so just relax. You're good. You guys did really well there. That was good. Check your grip. Keep checking your grip. Keep checking your grip. If they're starting to go too high, adjust your grip. There's lots. All right. How's everybody feeling? Yeah. Let's go grab a drink, and then we're going to come back and we're going to play some games. Feel better? Yeah. Keep using that one today. You can put yours away. I know that paddle was a lot of money.
I actually got a crazy deal on it too.
Did you?
Well,
Okay.
to Northern Lights.
Okay.
I mean, I paid $180.
Yeah.
Which is still a lot of money, but
Yeah.
it wasn't what it is.
Okay. But that's the wrong paddle for you. You're too small and too light, and you don't have any body weight. That paddle is so thin and so that's for like a level 5.0
Okay.
player. So
Not me.
something a little thicker, something a little heavier.
I
will
do have a thicker DM,
bring it.
and it's an oblong, but I played with it, and it feels kind of long. But
Okay.
maybe I should get back used to it. It's very thick.
Okay. Well, bring it in and try it. We'll try it at a lesson.
Yeah, but this is nice.
It's better for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We said we were going to make you work hard collecting balls today.
Yeah. Well, your plan worked. All right, so let's talk about what we've experienced and what we've learned from our experiences. Any thoughts? Has anybody had any epiphanies today? Yes.
Just instead of going like this and the way you're holding your racket, I get a lot of outfalls when I think I'm just tapping it and it goes way up the end of the game.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, it's your long stroke that's causing you to hit it out. Yeah. Remember that the ball's coming toward you with some momentum, right? So you just need a little bit to reverse the direction of that momentum. You don't need to hit your volleys very hard. People watch the pros hitting these deep strokes to the baseline. You'll get there, but for right now, you need to learn how to control your volley first. So don't be thinking of doing that. Just be thinking of moving in slow motion. Do the opposite of what you see. Instead of hitting hard, hit soft. Just under control. As you learn to control, I keep using the analogy of driving. We don't teach our kids to drive on Deerfoot. We teach them to drive in the parking lot. Start in the parking lot. Learn to control your paddle. Once you can control the paddle and the ball, then we can start to add speed. We can move you out to Community Road. We can move you out to Southland Drive. Eventually, we'll get you out to Deerfoot. But you shouldn't be starting on Deerfoot. Learn to control it first. What else? So that's a good observation. Did anybody else learn anything? Were there any other moments of clarity?
We're noticing a difference. It doesn't fit the middle of the paddle. You get that outside.
Yeah, for sure. Can I borrow this paddle for a second? All right. So where is the sweet spot in your paddle? A lot of people think it's in the middle part of the head. It's not. It's actually the middle part from the top to the bottom of the racket. So it's going to be low in your head. That's center of mass, right? And then from side to side. So as we go through this training group, that volley warm-up that we did, I'm going to add the other two elements to it. One of them that we do, we call fast hands. It's just a little drill where we're bumping the ball back and forth from our sweet spot to our sweet spot. We're in really close to the net. Does somebody have a ball? Here's one. I got one? Thanks. Awesome. So this is something you can do yourself at home. So people tend to do this at home, right? They bounce the ball up in here. I really want you to learn where the center of your sweet spot is on your paddle, right? Learn to hit the ball down here in the actual sweet spot on your paddle. You're going to hear the difference. So here's the sweet spot. Oop, that was off center. That was off center. Now up here. Hear the difference? That's a much higher frequency. So I can tell from the way somebody hits a shot to me how much pace it's going to have coming to me, how much spin it's going to have coming to me by the sound that it makes, right? If you pay attention to the sound, you will eventually learn to recognize the sound. You will also learn to recognize when you're dinking and you're not looking at the ball, where you just hit the ball, right? And you want to be able to play your paddle like a musical instrument. You want to be able to hit the sweet spot every time and make that sound over and over and over again. It's like learning to play a drum, because a drum makes different sounds in different spots of the drum head, right? Thank you, sir. Your paddle is the same kind of thing. So you want to play with your eyes, you want to play with your sensations, you want to play with your ears, you want to incorporate all of that. And really pay attention to the sound you're making, especially on your volleys. If you're making good contact in that center part of your paddle, the sweet spot, you're going to have much more consistent volleys because it's going to go the same swing is going to yield the same result. But if I take this paddle and I take the same swing and I hit it here versus here versus here versus here, I'm going to get 4 different results, right? So part of it is controlling your swing. The other part of it is controlling where it hits on the paddle. Consistency in this leads to consistency in your output. I call this input. Consistency in input leads to consistency in output, right? So something you got to pay attention to, something you got to learn, something you can actually work on at home. It's pretty simple. You can stand in your kitchen doing that stuff. You don't even need a court, right? And I call it connecting your brain to your paddle. Connect your brain to your paddle so that your paddle becomes almost like your hand. Your brain knows what your hand is doing all the time. It should know what your paddle is doing all the time. So we're going to go in now that we've had a little rest. We're going to play, we're going to try some games. I know this can be really exhausting for this group, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go 6 players onto one court. I'm going to pull the curtain. We're going to start doing some rotations, and that way you'll have 2 turns in and 1 turn out. 2 turns in, 1 turn out, and that way you get a little bit of a rest. Okay? So let's go do that. Everybody grab a spot on the court or by a post. Yeah, just pull them off to the side. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Can you join us here? You can join us here, Jane. Okay, you guys, 1 ball, 4 players. You want to start on the post, Margaret? Why don't you start there? Why don't you start there?
Okay.
You start right there. Okay. So we're going to try and have a little volley round. You can go to the other post, Janice. Go to the other post. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to be rotating this way. You guys are going to try to have a rally. We'll start with 5 volleys, right? So just pass the ball over the net and try and get to 5. Yeah. To anybody across the other net. Yeah. So we're going to be moving the ball around to different people. You are. You're just going to start the drill. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Okay, rotate 1 position. You get 2 attempts to get to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6, 7. There we go. Okay, rotate 1. Okay, 2 attempts to get to 5. If you don't get to 5, you keep going. If you get to 5, then we're done. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we are. Rotate. Rotate. Awesome. Okay, keep going. Keep trying. Okay, second attempt. Oh! All right, rotate. Good stuff. Get a second. All right. Is that 2 tries? Okay, rotate. Oops. All right, so everybody understands what we're doing now. Now we're going to start paying attention to kitchen faults. So I don't want you to step into the kitchen now when you're volleying. If it's going to land in the kitchen, just let it land and play it as a dink, but just keep going. Okay, so it's going to be a combination of volleys and dinks now. Okay, second try. Yeah, rotate. Okay, however you're doing it. However you're doing it. Okay, rotate. You guys are good at this. Rotate. Fault. Janice faulted. She was in the kitchen. It's the blue line. Yep. Rotate. Fault. Your right toe was on the blue line. It was. It moved it back, but it was there. His right, he wasn't, but his right toe was. Fault. The right foot was in the kitchen. Nice. Oh, you were okay, huh? I think that went off your toe at one point. Haha, I tried to save it. Okay, rotate. Give me 1 second. Ooh, 1 sec, 1 sec, 1 sec, 1 second. Okay, go ahead, play another point. Good, 1 second. Every break I'm going to put down a line until I get all my lines down. That was a fault, Jane. Okay. 1 sec. Oh, right behind you just for 1 second. There we go. Go ahead. All right, rotate. I get it, Jane. Okay, now we're going to play a different version of this game. So there's a red line behind you that is continued with the tape line. This is our back baseline. That's our back baseline. So the red line to the tape line, that's our baseline. We're playing a much smaller court. We're going to start with a cross serve dink, right? And then we're going to dink. If we get a chance to volley, we're going to volley. If there are kitchen faults, there's going to be a kitchen fault. That player is going to serve every time, whoever's in that court. Yep, kitchen is still the kitchen. This is our new baseline. So we're ignoring the entire back part of the court. Okay? And Jan, no, you can serve right up to the, come right up to the kitchen for your serve. Yep, and just serve it into the kitchen. All right, awesome. Rotate 1 position. Gary serves. Well, that bounced twice. So, all right. So remember, you can go in the kitchen for a ground stroke. You just can't volley, right? Out. It was out. Oh, bounced twice. Rotate. Okay, remember there's a baseline behind you. Might have been. Yeah. Good. Rotate. Nice try, Brian. Very clever. Oh. So in the next 5 minutes or so, people are going to start coming for the next class, so I'll be in and out of the room. So you guys keep getting your reps in. Oh, bounce twice. Okay, remember there's a baseline behind you. Don't be afraid to let it go out. Okay, going to change the game a little bit. Stop for a second. Yeah, keep going. Actually, Jane, you're going to go over to that side of the post. Gary, I want you to slide over to the other side. Okay, these three people are now a team. These three people are a team. At the end, so if you guys play a rally and you lose and one of you makes a mistake, whoever made the mistake subs out for the person on the sideline. Same with you guys. If you're playing a rally and you lose the rally and one of you makes a mistake, sub out for the person on the sideline. So we're just going to sub in and sub out. We're going to keep score now. Remember to let balls go out to get points behind you, right? You can serve first. 0-0-2. Okay, you guys keep score yourselves. Fault. It was fault. And out. Okay, so you sub out. Yep. No, well, there was no mistake made here, so you stay out for now. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you got a point, right? 1-0-2. Or 1-0-2. Oh, fault. Or I mean, point. Yep. There we are. Brian, sir. You sub on this side. Yep. It's going to go out, exactly. Okay, the reason we're doing this, people think about learning how to volley, they think only in terms of hitting the ball. An equally important skill in volleying is knowing when not to hit the ball. Right? So this game works on decision making in volleying. Am I going to hit it or am I going to let it go? Right? So remember, that baseline is very close behind you. So this is the other skill that we're working on now, is the decision not to hit a ball. Okay? No, 1-3-2. 1-3-2. Janice's serve. Side out. That was a short trip, Janice. That was nice thinking, though, Susan. Very nice thinking. Oh, that was going to be out. Ah. So you guys had 3 opportunities to let that ball go out. You didn't, and you lost the point. It's in. It's in. Yep. Oh, that was going out. Hit him in the face. Out. Good lead, Gary. Out. Okay. Oh, what's your name tag, Janice? Your name tag fell off, Janice. What are your names?
Aaron and Patty.
Hi, Aaron, and hi, Patty. You guys ever been here before?
No.
My name is Coach.
Okay,
Um,
good stuff.
Coat room is there.
Okay.
Everything else goes in here. Well, boots can go on the rack there or in the coat room. Coats go in there. Everything else can go in here. We're the only people in the building today, so everything is safe. We don't allow water bottles or personal belongings in the gym.
Okay.
So
So sorry, if I want to wear this just to start.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be taking breaks. You'll be able to take it off when you're done.
Like
Yeah.
clothes and stuff?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, come on. How are you? Good. Have we met? Have we met?
No.
Oh, you just read my name tag.
Yeah.
That makes it easy.
Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
I'm Jay.
Hi, Jay. Nice to meet you. Have you ever been here before?
No.
Okay, so coats will go in the coat room. Boots can go on the boot rack or in there, and all of our personal belongings go in there. We don't allow water bottles in the gym. I'm in the middle of a lesson right now. I'll come out and get you guys when that lesson's over. Okay? Just keep an eye on the door. If somebody buzzes or if somebody comes to the door, let them in, please. Thank you. Let's try. 10-4-2? It's okay, let it go. Big comeback. Out. 4-10-2. Yeah, nice shot, Margaret. Got the ball back. Side out. Side out. Good game, guys. Okay, now we'll start a new game. We have about, 3 or 4 minutes left. So we'll just start a new game at 5-5-2. Okay, remember, let balls go out. That's what we're working on here. Oh, that was going to go out. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That is the skill that we are working on right now. No, 5-5-1. We started at 5-5-2. Oh, good rally. Out. Nice. Okay, it's going to have to be our last point here. Awesome, good rally. Okay, everybody, come on in. All right, so today the T300 training group worked on learning to control our volleys, especially that moment of contact. We learned that our strokes need to be short. We need to keep the racket in front of us. And we played some games, and then we learned the incredibly valuable volleying skill of knowing when not to hit the ball, right? It's not always about hitting the volley. I watch so many players say, I'm working on my volley and I'm coming to rec this week, I'm going to work on my volley, and then I watch them stand at the net and volley all the out balls. That's not a useful way to learn to volley. Let your opponent beat themselves. So don't be afraid to let balls go out. Any questions about what we did today? Okay. I noticed some of you this week registered for Duper, joined our Duper group, joined our Pickleball Brackets group. That's awesome. We're going to start to get rated games in it within the training groups. I know you're in Duper, but you haven't joined our Duper group yet. Sorry?
When does that start?
When does what start?
Duper start. Starting now? Is it starting?
Yeah, in this training group, once everybody's set up, we're going to start to play some rated sessions if we get a chance at the end of a game. So today it wouldn't have worked because today there were 6 players. But we have a lot of days where there's 4, and we might as well sneak in a rated game right at the end, right? So if everybody's in our Duper club, you just need to go to Duper, click on the play link, then check your invites, and you'll see that I've invited you, so just click on accept.
The invite, when you had first sent it, I looked, it wasn't there, and I waited a little bit, and then I found it.
Okay.
Like it was a little delay.
So it's under player?
Under play, there's a play link.
And then pickleball bracket.
Pickleball Brackets, if you've joined Pickleball Brackets, I can just add you to our group. You don't have to do anything else. But I don't think you're in Brackets. I couldn't find your name in Brackets. So you're going to want to do that too. Yeah.
That's another step. Accepting.
Probably, yeah. So, no rush. Some of you have done it. The rest of you haven't. We'll get there. It's for your good because you want to have multiple ratings. You don't want to just have one rating. I'll give you an example. One of our guys in our 405 group, his Duper is at 4.3. His Brackets is at 3.6. Massive difference between the two. But if he wants to get into a 4.0 group, he's got that screenshot now of the one time his Duper was at 4.3, right? It'll never be there again probably, but that's where it is right now. So that'll do him for 2 or 3 years, right? So that's why you want to have multiple ratings, because every once in a while one of them is going to be higher than the other, and you take that screenshot and you've got proof that you were there, right? So that's why we're doing it. So, all right, any questions before we go? Did you have fun today? Good. Hope it was a workout. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you all hopefully. I think our next meeting for this group is Monday morning, right? Monday morning? Anybody wants to come? Are we doing lobs and overheads? Awesome. And then next one after that is next Saturday. So, all right, see you then.